What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the OAP podcast brought to you by your host, Brandon. How's everyone doing? It's been some time since I've uploaded an episode, and a lot has happened throughout the time. I know I say that all the time. And I don't know if it's like a lot, but it's more so like a lot in my head has happened, if that makes sense. But nonetheless, I'm happy to bring you guys another episode. And I got some things I want to share with you guys. And so I kind of just want to get straight to the point. I don't want to beat around the bush, you know. So here's the deal. This episode will be my last episode filming the show, how it is right now. I've decided that I don't want to keep doing this, filming this show. I I've realized that it's been I don't know. It's been hard. It's been really difficult doing the show on my own, and not necessarily because it's hard to do the show itself. It's more so getting myself in the room to do the show has been difficult. I've also been wanting to do other things, and so yeah. And I've realized, I've looked at your guys' response towards the show, and it's not. It's not where I want it to be, and it's not where I thought it would be. Um, and that's okay. Some people who don't like the show, and that's all good and whatnot. I don't have any issue with that. But I thought that it would pick up some traction, not from the start, but as I kept uploading, and it did for a little bit, but it just wasn't where I would want it to go. And I've realized that my heart is not in it to do the show, and so I'm not saying OAP and once a project podcast is done for real. Like I'm not saying that. I'm saying the show that I'm doing is done, if that makes sense. I don't feel like I should keep pursuing something that my heart's not in it. I'm not saying that. As far as the podcast itself, we'll see. I don't know what will happen. I don't know what will happen to it, but we'll see. I mean, the brand is there, the following is there, and so I don't know. We'll see what happens with the brand itself, the OAP podcast, and where that will go. But for now, the show that I'm doing itself is done. I'm officially not doing the show anymore. And so I didn't want to beat around the bush. I didn't want to come here and act like nothing was going on and, this and that, when in reality, for some time now, I've realized that since I've been doing the show alone, it hasn't been the same all around. It really hasn't. And I tried. I think I gave it a good shot at trying to do it on my own. And it just wasn't going where I wanted it to go, essentially. The spark that I felt, for example, when Jackie and I were doing it, or when I had guests, wasn't there as much. I think in the beginning, the first episode or two, I was super excited, and obviously, when you're running off excitement, you'll feel that. But once that excitement kind of comes down, you kind of start to realize what you're actually feeling. And so that's kind of what happened. Nothing too big, nothing to cry over, and I'm not sad about it at all. I'm actually excited because by me not doing this anymore, hopefully other things come around and some opportunities can come around, and so we'll see. We'll see for sure. But that's kind of what I wanted to share with you guys. Um, Aside from that, you know, you guys may ask yourselves why, you know, like what's the reason? And like I said, the reason is I was seeing the numbers, I was seeing how I was feeling while doing the show, I was seeing, you know, the content of the show, and it just wasn't what I want, you know. And why pursue something that you don't want? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me, you know. So those are the reasons why. Um, that's basically it, guys. I mean, I don't know what else to to say. Aside from that, I've had a great time lately. A lot of fun stuff has been going on for me and my family. A lot of cool things have been coming along, and it's exciting. When things are going in a good direction. I feel like, and so aside from that, it's been good. Um, I mean, I've tried to stay away from the political things, but it's so hard to stay away from politics nowadays that it's honestly more entertainment than anything else. And so I've been heavy on that lately. I should probably take a break from politics and not let myself or my life get, surrounded by that world. But like I said, it's hard. There's a lot of great content right now with politics. You know, I have my goal. My goal, we have. I mean, I'm just kind of talking to you guys now after I gave you the big news that the show is ending, that this is the last episode of the show. But I do want to say there's still some goals in mind. Like I still want to lose a ton of weight before the end of the year. We just started August, so August, September, October, November, December. Got 5 months before the year ends, and in those 5 months, I have a lot of goals in mind on what I want to do, and one of them being losing weight. I think I've gotten to the point where I have reached the top of being okay with not with being like looking how I look. I've reached the that point where I've realized it's bad. Like I really need to lose weight. It's not a joke anymore. And so I really want to dedicate these next 2 months to doing that, to starting a diet and actually eating a bit healthier and going to the gym and working out. It's kind of crazy now that I think about it. Like, since, Jackie and I split from the OAP show, the OAP podcast, and even before that, like, I looked back and looked internally, and I've realized that the pattern has been following me of like just self-destructive behavior, if that makes sense. And I think a lot of it is unconscious, like me unconsciously, if that's how you say it, and a lot of it is consciously. So some of it I've realized, like, okay, like that was bad. I shouldn't have done that. And other things I think it's just very my mind unconsciously like doing some destructive behavior things, and so it's gotten to the point where it needs to stop. It's gotten to the point where I don't even feel good about certain things that I've done and just things like that. Kind of where I got to this point. So now it's time to turn the page. We're halfway into 2024, and when we stepped into 2024, I had a lot of exciting things. A lot of things were going in the right direction for for many things. Many things were going in the right direction, and somewhere in there, February, March, April, somewhere in there, something happened, which I know exactly what happened, but I won't share that with you guys. And since then, this destructive, sabotaging behavior kind of came into, power in my life, and you know now I've suffered the consequences of that, and yeah, it's not a good feeling for sure. But, you know, the good thing is that I recognize it and I am actively trying to work on it and get better. So, maybe the first half of this year hasn't been what I wanted. And if it hasn't been for you guys either, just know that you guys can turn that page and can't, make a course correction these next 5 months, and that's what I'm trying to do. So if you feel like your life is not where you wanted it to be, today up until this point, and that some of the goals you set for 2024 haven't been met, you can still, course correct. You can still, realize that you need to, fix a couple things, and that's okay. That's how we learn. That's how a human being literally learns, is by the mistakes. And the important part is recognizing those mistakes and then course correcting. And so that's kind of where I'm at. And maybe all the goals that you set up for this year won't be met, but at least you'll get close to it. So anyways, just wanted to share that with you guys. And hopefully you guys have a great day and week. And so we'll see you guys maybe on a next episode. We'll see. Anyways, bye-bye.